So we're in July, and it's been a month since the last update. So this is it. So how has June been? Well, the last 2 weeks of June's been pretty warm. Mostly it's been in the 80s, and I even had 2 days that hit the 90. So pretty warm, and that has caused everything to kind of finally flush and grow out. Um, for this year, most of these I was not looking to get fruit set, but there was a couple of varieties I was hoping would set fruit. One of it was Juliet, the other was Graham, but unfortunately they all seem to be dropping. So I'll start the I kind of start the updates on this. This will probably be a pretty long update just because I'm going to go over all the varieties on each of the tree. So it's going to be a pretty long video just because of that. Just kind of see what's happening with everything. Alright, so this is the first tree. This right here in front is a variety called Dolores. Have not had fruit set on it yet. It seems to be an okay grower, but flower seems fungal prone. So let's see, this is Dolores. Right here is lemon zest. Just kind of let you guys know, I've been battling kind of aphids and ants, and I did spray mineral oil this several times this month, and I made one mistake where I sprayed the mineral oil around, I think it was 8 a.m. in the morning, and then that day I think it was around 85, so I didn't even get that hot, but it still ended up burning the leaves. So it's either kind of like the heat of the day, or my mixture had a bit too much of the oil. But either way, I've been kind of preferring to spray more later in the evening, where it kind of, the last couple hours before it gets dark. So that seems to be a bit better for me. I don't get any of the burns when I do that. So just kind of keep that in mind if you guys are spraying for aphids or anything like that. But this is lemon zest, just flushing out some of this damages from aphids, and also maybe some of the burn from the mineral oil. Let's see, this right here is a Thai variety called Fallon. It's eaten green, and it's doing pretty well. I mean, I made this graft May 26th, and it's growing well, but this variety is probably a mismatch for this tree, because most of the varieties on this tree seems to be pretty good, pretty good growers. I think this is more like a dwarf variety, so it's just some place for me to put it right. Put the grass on for now. Okay. This is Little Gem. I'm pushing all these damage to the leaves off from like aphids or like the mineral oil burn that I got. So that's Little Gem. There's some more Little Gem growth right there. Okay, this right here is Super Julie. Julie. This is Sunrise right here. Sunrise. And then the Sweet Tart up here. And then my variety of California Vermit. On to the next tree. Okay. First tree up right here is Pineapple Pleasure. Nope, I'm sorry, not Pineapple Pleasure. This is Peach Cobbler. So I still have this nice late bloom that came out, but all the fruitlets that was on this all fell off. And then I'm getting a little bit of some more limb dieback, so hopefully it doesn't spread. I had to spray some fungicide on this, but there is new growth, so I think that's a good sign. Okay, this right here is Ice Cream. Had lots of fruitlets, but they all dropped, and I was trying to bag some to see if they help with the increase in size of the fruits, with the dew heat. But there's a couple fruitlets are still hanging on there. Let's see what else. Let's see, this is Harvest Moon. Finally flushing and doing really well. Here's an Alfonso, another California Vermit, and then what we got here is Bronchi Maya, setting up some nice vertical vertical limbs. So here's a Valkyrie kind of flushing. It's just really good to see because last year nothing really grew. This year it feels like it's a little bit better. So this is a Golden Queen Jin Huang right here. I made a couple new grafts. Hopefully they take soon. Right here is Honey Kiss. This one's beginning to flush. And then this is the Ambrosia. Doesn't look like any of the fruitlets gonna make it. Here's a graft that I made that just took. This is a seedling of a variety called Sun Paris. I decided to graft it because it had very strong Alfonso-like smell, and Sun Paris is a seedling of an Alfonso cross from India. So it's a seedling of Sun Paris. We'll see what it ends up doing, and maybe it'll produce something within a year or two. Here's the Juliet. Again, all the fruitlets fell. It's one that I was really trying to get to hold fruit because I really wanted to taste it. It's beginning to flush. Here's the variety called Diamond. Flushing really nice. Lots of vertical branches are coming up. This is Pineapple Pleasure. It's a late bloom. And there's some fruitlets on it. I'm not really sure if it's gonna hold, but there's quite a few little fruitlets. There's Pineapple Pleasure. Okay, right here is so in my yard I did get a few varieties that did not bloom at all, which is very interesting to note. In this plot there was 3 varieties that didn't bloom. So the ones that didn't bloom is all actually kind of around the same area right here. This one is the variety called Sindri, but I believe it's a Pakistani variety. Did not bloom, didn't send out any bloom. The one in back right here, it is called, which one is this one called? Safida Lucknow. So this one's Indian variety, and this one did not bloom too. But look at it, it's very vigorous. Both of these varieties have been pretty vigorous. Look at all the branching that comes out of it. And the third variety that didn't bloom, this one is Shawinta. I believe it's a Burmese variety. And I think it's also called Raw Honey. This one didn't bloom. So interestingly, these 3 did not bloom. Okay, here's Mahachinook. Growing out really nicely. Alright, on to the next tree. Okay, this right here is Orange Sherbet. Right here. This is a Guava Saint Talon. Okay. And this one right here is Giselle. So both of these are flushing really strongly. Okay, I have a Ceci Love that's still here. This is my selection, California Romit, and this is the Super Julie, which I just pruned back really heavily because it wasn't branching or growing the way I wanted it to. See what else on here. Let's see, this is a Nam Dak Mai Mun. It's a variety that I've had since 2021 on a few different trees, and I've been trying to get it to set fruit for quite some time, and it just hasn't. I think I'm pretty much gonna give up on this variety, meaning that I'm not gonna really try to propagate it much of it anymore. Whatever I have, I'm gonna leave it here. But it has not been very productive at all. It blooms once, but it's just a non-Dakmai number 4, but I have never got it to set fruit, so hasn't been able to set fruit in like 3 years. So non-Dakmai Mun, not really one I think I would recommend. I'm not really too sure. Maybe one day with set fruit, I could make a better decision on it. This right here is a 0 and 12. Okay, let's see what else. Back here is a, you see here, this is a orange, this is a orange essence. Looks like it's finally flushing really vigorously. Here's a Malika right here. Malika, I'm not sure it's one I would recommend for anybody. It's just the flavoring on it. It's kind of odd. There's probably better varieties to choose from. I haven't had one for my yard, but I had other Malikas, and they're just like hit and miss on taste. So I'll probably be grafting over most of these batches. I'm going to keep some, but most of the Malika is probably going to go away. Here's one that I just recently grafted. Look at this flush. Let's see when I grafted this. May 26th. So this is the variety Jahangir, or Jahangir. I'm not sure quite how you pronounce it, but it's looking good. Here's Sweet Tart. I haven't been as successful with Sweet Tart. It just has not really set any fruits for me. Here's a Dunkin'. Here's another Prom Chimera. And here's an Angie. I think it's finally flushing. Okay. On to the next tree. This one has a lot of fruits that I was gonna cut off, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. So this Super Julie seems to be holding on to 2 fruitlets, and it's blooming again. Not really sure why it's doing that, but this is a variety called Carla, which seems to be holding a fruit. I mean, this is pretty cool to see on it. I bagged a few to see if it helps in increasing the size. Let's see. The idea is that maybe the heat will help it ripen and increase in size faster. Okay, this is the variety Tom Pecan. Looks like it's finally flushing something. This is a little gem. You can tell with the little gem they got these wimpy leaves most of the time. There's a few fruitlets on there. Okay, on to the next one, and this one is beginning to really look really nicely. So I did some heavy pruning on the ST Maui. I think the last time you guys seen it, it was probably like almost like this, like horizontally this way. I pruned it all off, trying to get more vertical branching, and look at it, it looks really nice. And ST Maui has the beautiful like red leaves. You know, if you look at their leaves right there, you look at the rest, you know, you kind of see how much of a difference it has. So this is ST Maui, very ornamental red leaves. It's beautiful. Some damage from aphids and the mineral oil I sprayed, but besides that, they seem to have recovered. But yeah, let's see what else here. This is a California Remit right here that you see right here. And then here's another Fallon graft, Fallon, a Thai variety. And this is Sussy Love. Sussy Love flushing all around right here. Okay, on to the next tree. Okay, and this one's flushing really nicely too. Look at all the different leaf colors on here. There's like all different varieties. So what I'm gonna start off with. Okay, let's see these in the back right here. This is my California Remit. Can I see the leaf coloring like that? And it's very ribby. You can kind of see the ribs on the leaves. And then let's see, this is Dupree Saigon right here. Dupree Saigon. And then this is Bombay. So everything on this tree is finally like really beginning to push and flush. This Bombay. It's another Golden Queen, Cat Saigon, Jin Huang. Sending out that. It's sent out several limbs right here too. So it's looking pretty good. This right here is Zebda. Flushed this, and then it's going to flush a lot of these little branches everywhere. So that's Zebda. And then back here, this is a Hindi Besanara. I think both of these are like Egyptian varieties. Hindi Besanara. And even send out this one long vertical branch right here. So let's see what else I got here. A fruit cocktail. It has not been as vigorous as the others. Funny flushing fruit cocktail. Okay. Next tree. This is cack. So cack has been pretty interesting. I was hoping it hold on to some fruits, but all the fruitlets dropped. But this cack has bloomed, has flushed once after the bloom, and now it is flushing again. So it's beginning to flush again. So pretty interesting. It's kind of gone through a bloom, a flush, and another flush already. So a little bit ahead of most of the vegetation and everything else. And this right here is Super Julie, and a lot of this damage is from aphids. Okay, Super Julie, cotton candy right here. And a bit of a slow grower. I was hoping that some of this was going to be vegetation, like one of this branch looked like it was going to send vegetation, but then we ended up sending another mixed bloom. So cotton candy right here. Up next is Floygon. So this is Floygon on here. I think I burned the leaves a bit with the mineral oil, but it's flushing some vegetation. This branch actually has a new bloom right here, and we'll see if it holds. It holds. And behind it is Graham. So this is Graham, but unfortunately I'm not sure. I had like these size fruitlets, which are pretty decent size. They're pretty large size fruitlets, about half a dozen more of them, and they all still seem to drop. But Graham has another bloom. Look at it, that's another bloom on Graham. And I have one bagged in here too. So we'll see, they're all beginning to drop. Look, oh, unfortunately it dropped. So, yeah, that's Graham. I was really hoping that the first round of fruits would set. Okay, let's see what else here. This is another Juliet, which I was really hoping for the fruitlet to set. It didn't set, but then I got this other kind of late bloom coming out of it. Don't know if it's gonna send in fruit, but if it does, I am gonna let it hold. I really do want to taste the Juliet before I kind of try to propagate more of it. Here is lemon zest. Lemon zest had all these little fruitlets, and they all dropped. This branch dropped all the fruitlets. My larger graft also dropped most of its fruitlets, but this is another bloom. And this bloom, maybe this bloom will hold. The fruitlets on this kind of range a little bit differently. My earlier bloom, all the fruitlets was like at the last inch of the bloom, so this one's kind of spread out everywhere. We'll see. Hoping lemon zest sets. If this sets fruitlets, if this sets fruit, I'm gonna let it hold. I really like lemon zest and have several grafts and backup grafts of it. Okay, well, that's an update for right now, and thanks everyone.